guys? Welcome back. And welcome back to another episode of Me and the Boys. Today I got my boy Diddy Kang. Just me and him alone, but don't worry, we're gonna hold it down. We're gonna be talking about some of the issues with Bandle cities and what we feel like could improve it and make the region a little bit more balanced. It has been a lot of outcry in the community, especially with content creators. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not warranted. This time I feel it's warranted. And we'll be going through some of the causes that they feel are really strong, being conchologists, open telescope, Bandle tree, and just the versatility that comes from Bandle city as a whole. I think I record that time. All right, so conchologists, I feel like conchologists going to 3 mana will be one of the best fix for it. It will be in sync with the whole 3 mana or less that it wants, and it would allow a lot of other 2 mana cards to get play in Bandle tree, because this spot is heavily contested for 2 mana.
Conchologist is a really strong card. If I was to limit it, I would probably give it a very specific set of cards that they could get.
I mean, the cards that they could get are, in its region. So, like, how much more would you limit it? Like, I feel like, if anything, I would limit Open Telescope, because that has, like, the whole arsenal of cards you could choose from.
That card in itself is a problem, honestly.
All right, so
I feel like Open Telescope as a whole is a problem. It really doesn't give the rest of the meta. Like, if you're in that region, you're playing that card, right?
Yeah, if you're in that region, you're gonna be playing Conchologist and Open Telescope, like, guaranteed. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts. I feel like for Open Telescope, being a Targon card, I feel like it's choosing only Celestials, maybe Celestial cards, them 3 or less would be the best for it. Maybe make it a 1/1, so it's in competition with Spacey Sketcher. The only difference is that you don't have to discard a card, or maybe even having it where Open Telescope, where you manifest, your opponent are able to see the cards that you manifest, so that way you're not playing, like, have to play around the whole spectrum of epic cards or multi-region followers.
That's a fair thought.
Like, seeing a card, right? Like, because I feel like manifest, like, not knowing what card your opponent has is like, how do we play against it? Like, it's just RNG. Like, it doesn't offer any counterplay.
It does not offer very much counterplay at all.
Yeah, I was really mad when this card came into it. I really feel like Wallop should go to 4 mana. I don't have an issue with it dealing more damage, but I feel like it knocks us as a natural counter for Bandle City. I feel like this card prevents a lot of it. Like, it prevents the Fearsome, it prevents the Overwhelm. Like, this card shouldn't probably even be attached to Nars as champion spell. This card is what pushed Nars as being a really good. Yeah, that makes Nars really good as well.
That's a very good card. I like Wallop. I don't know if I'm quite 100%.
I don't think it's
against Wallop being the way it is. I do like the fact that there is a way to fight your counter, and it's very limited, right? I mean, it's 3 to do 1 damage and stun. I mean, that neither one of those are very... I don't want to say they're not very powerful, but they're not... It's overpowered as a card. Like, we have 2 mana cards.
Yes, but that's in a region that doesn't have any form of, like, removal. Like, I can understand that from that region, but, like, there's no reason why Bandle City should have a stun as well. Like, and, like, I feel like
that's like you shouldn't have Ruination and Vengeance in the same region.
I mean,
the region, it's a pink card. We've been seeing Pokestick. I think Pokestick is the most powerful thing out there. Pokestick's better than Wallop, in my opinion.
Yeah, but Pokestick doesn't do anything against overwhelm units. Like Pokestick is, don't get me wrong, Pokestick is a good card if you mean like just unplayability. But like even as a card as Pokestick, I feel like Pokestick should either not target your Nexus, or if you try to ping your opponent unit, if their unit is no longer on the board, then you don't draw a card. Or if you don't kill a unit, you don't draw a card. Yeah, that'd be nice.
I agree. I don't think it should have to kill the unit. I think it should be like violence. If the target disappears, you lose your card. Vile Feast is that way. What's that Ionia card that stuns and summons a 3/2? If the unit disappears, you don't get your 3/2.
Oh yeah, Concussive Palm.
Concussive Palm. There's a lot of cards that work that way, and I do understand Gohard's case, because Gohard's ability is a cast ability. If you cast Gohard, that happens. But in the case of Pokestick, you should not be drawing that card.
For Banditry, I don't really have an issue with Banditry as a whole. I just feel like maybe going to 6 mana might be.
Nope. I hate that card. That card is silly. That card is overpowered and it needs nerfed.
If you really think about Banditry as a
Banditry is busted.
Banditry isn't busted as a whole. The cards that it generates, like the cards in the region, is what makes it busted. Because like they have like a style game plan where you try to win a game.
I will deal with it.
You know, I feel like a lot of the creatures in Bandle City are overstated. I feel like they should be weaker for the versatility that they provide, or like the free card generation that they provide.
I don't care about any of that. Banditry in itself is overpowered. Banditry produces value. It produces an alternate win con, and in addition to both those things, even if you get rid of the Banditry, the ones that are sitting in the deck are already at max as well. So you still haven't resolved the problem. They just play a second one. Even if you destroy the Banditry that's in play, the Banditry in the deck is already maxed out as well.
Yeah, and that's why
I think that card should have to be in your hand to see it. At least Banditry, I feel like Banditry should only count creatures that it sees you cast or sees you put into play, and it counts from the hand.
That will completely kill a card. I mean, counting a hand,
it wouldn't kill it. It would count if it's in your hand. We have a champion that does the same thing, that only counts when it's in your hand.
Okay, I mean, I guess.
That's not unplayable.
I mean,
if you have a Banditry, but it gives your opponent an opportunity to play around it. You can play removal for removal for landmarks, and if you play well and you play around Banditry, you can remove the Banditry, and they'll have if they have a second one, they have a second one. But the way it is now, even if they don't have that second one, they can just draw into it. It's not like you could kill them through 97 units that they generate every turn.
Oedipus isn't bad. I mean, Oedipus isn't like OP. I mean, if it took away its Attune, it would still be a good card, honestly speaking.
If you take away Attune,
yeah,
it's still that Attune makes that card way too free.
Yeah, it makes it too free. But besides that, like, I feel like the weakness for Bandle City should be not really having a way of like having good defensive stats for his units. So like Overwhelm is able to abuse it, but they're able to, and like Fearsome is able to abuse it because they don't have any units with power 3 or more like consistently on the board. I also feel like their strength should be like swarming and doing pings. I think, I understand that they want to have different, outlets as well, but I think like
that's Wallop is one card.
Okay, so just having that 3 of 1 card as well as conk, allowing you to draw that card as well. That's like how many chances of drawing the 1 card that you need. I don't have an issue with the card if it was in a different region. My issue is that this card is in Bandle City, and I don't think it should have been. I think Captain should be a 3/3 or a 4/3.
Yodel captain, yeah,
A what?
really strong.
Yeah, it's a
Yodel
really
cap-
That card is silly strong, right?
yeah. This card, like, I think
There's no reason the card should be as potent as it is, in my opinion, at least.
I don't really have any issues with the attached units, but I feel like attached units are going to become an issue eventually. I feel like attached units should be similar to how Tam Kench is, where like if you hush them and then kill a unit, they don't go back to your hand, or they don't have like the buff. Like it's no
the
reason.
The hush interaction would be very, very good in this case. I do think the hush interaction is a very important one that gets overlooked.
I mean, but that's just a few cards in that. I mean, that's basically the more problematic cards in the region. Like, I understand why the creators did what they did. They wanted a lot of the cards to be playable while the whole, the region was being completed. So they made a little bit more overtune. Like, can you imagine Loafing Travelers was a 3/4? I Love Travelers was a 3/4. Come on, son. Poppy was a 4/3. You can't tell me that they didn't make this region overstated. Yodel Explorer used to make everybody 1/1. All Yodels. Like,
it's interesting.
Like, it's still some more fine tuning that they need to do, but
I don't like Teeny Dactyl.
Teeny Dactyl. I mean, it's
Pterodactyl and Teeny Dactyl. That card is silly.
It's a good card. I don't think it needs any nerf right now. I think that the force form should be a little weaker. Maybe a little weaker.
Killable.
Yeah, yeah, make them more killable.
This is unkillable.
Yeah.
I hate looking at that deck and being like, oh, I can't kill anything here. This is awesome.
I think once they transform, they gain in +2/+2 and stats. It's kind of nuts, just for doing more damage.
You look at it and you're like,
yeah, I think
we lose.
I think they should probably be done maybe one in the HP, I would say. Just to allow them to be killable. That's my take on like Bandle City as a whole. What do you feel? Anything else that you would want to really see change in Bandle City? I didn't already know you.
In Bandle City?
I know what card you're gonna say already, but go ahead.
You have no idea what I'm gonna say.
I could bet I know what card you're gonna say.
I really can't think of any more that I would say that I would feel are just lavishly powerful, right?
What about your favorite card?
Which one is that per se?
Minimo.
Oh yeah, fuck that card.
Exactly, you know what card you was gonna say.
I do like that card.
But besides that, I mean, I feel like those smaller changes will make a big difference, like meta-wise in the region, and make the game a lot better, and have each region have their own, instinctual strengths and weaknesses. But love you guys, and I'll see you guys later.